Hello everyone. Before we start today's video, if you could all do me a solid and lightly tap the like button, perhaps share the video about and leave a comment. If you are not subscribed, subscribe as well. It would greatly help this channel. Thank you very much. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Where Are They Now? A somewhat annual thing where individuals I have covered during the year, the current year as it were, are revisited just to see what they've done since that video, the first one I will have done on them, dropped. Today we're going to be discussing Nader Elshamy. The video I made on him is over 30 minutes long. Usually I play clips from that video. I'm not doing that this time. It's 34 minutes, I can't be bothered. I will though give you a brief rundown of that first video, and then we're going to go from there to what Nader did next, all the way up to present. So for those who didn't see that video, I will now present that brief rundown. I'll put a timestamp at the top if you want to skip it. Nader Elshamy is a master chef who immigrated from Egypt to Canada. In 2021 he rose to notoriety because he got into a relationship/not relationship kind of relationship with Foodie Beauty. This relationship lasted a week, but their courtship actually lasted well over a year. The reason why is because even though he didn't want to be on camera, once he was on camera, he was more than happy to milk her for everything. She paid for his rent, his iPad, basically anything for him to get by with while he was still building a YouTube channel that she herself actually set up for him, which had many people wonder if any of the money he got from that channel went to him and not to her. There was a query on that, I remember it quite clearly. The relationship itself didn't last because it was a volatile one. Nader himself was even then going through a number of accusations. He's a convict. He's not a nice person. He thinks he's strong, but actually he's a coward. He has beaten his ex-partners, and he believes that if you put your hands up to defend yourself, you're a coward. He doesn't understand words, by the way. When the relationship with Foodie Beauty soured, he started dating a fan, kind of, called Didi. He eventually moved to Montreal and moved in with her very quickly, all the while whenever payday came about for Chantel, then going to a sleazy motel to spend time together. She's an expert starfisher and he really knew what he wanted. Once the money dried up, he'd go back to Didi, who fobbed off a lot of his negative behavior as just being Egyptian, and you should simply accept it if you want that kind of man in your life. We don't do victim blaming here, but there are certain lines where responsibility is on you as well. When Nader and Foodie Beauty first started spending time together, they experimented in sherbet, Haribo, and other edibles. These same edibles were one of the main reasons Chantel kept going back to him, because he had the suppliers. He had access to her, which made him her supplier. Third party, I guess? Doesn't matter. The addictive personality trait of Chantel really flared up, which was another reason they kept on seeing each other afterwards. Eventually, it got so bitter, so sour, that even though Chantel kept saying she didn't want to be with him anymore or speak to him anymore, she'd keep on trying to contact him and then blocking him to contact him again. This led to a number of outings via DMs being released to the public, which he called him out on because he deleted his side of the conversation. It gets quite messy. While quite the skimming over, I do believe this adequately covers who Nader Elshamy is. Oh, and he likes to make chicken sushi. I mentioned it in the first video, but I have to mention it again, it's disgusting. In the case of my video, it did exceedingly well considering I'm not really someone that dives into this community all too often. Many of those that do though did leave rather nice comments, including the apex girl herself, Foodie Beauty. One thing I did notice though after I released my video was Nader's channel went quiet. Now I don't know if that was because of me or if he was fighting his own copyright community guideline related issues. And I mention this explicitly because it happens again later on, with somebody else involved. Somebody with a much larger platform. Somebody who can raise greater awareness to the issue that really does need to be dealt with. The issue being, Nader has a platform and has used it to showcase some of his remarkable health and safety talents. And also, this is slightly more important than the health and safety, put the life of someone he is supposed to care about at risk by beating her on a stream. This is not remotely acceptable, and under YouTube's own TOS, he should be gone, but at time of recording, he's not. His channel is dying, but he is not leaving the platform yet. Now, you would have thought when someone with a larger platform like myself makes a video basically exposing your mistakes, he would learn. And as time progressed, more of the copyright claims he had issued onto creators were rescinded, because many were willing to give up their personal information, were willing to do it because they knew damn well they were in the right. Nader, though, really dug his heels in, even though he was on the back foot.
If you have 10-15 video, mine, I take down one, you don't like it, I take down the 15, mine. 48 hours too. I will not gonna be, I will enough one to just make you wake up, but you don't. I don't take them down, I will. I don't like my video on your channel, buddy.
Now, Nader did explain that there are some creators he wasn't going to go for, and the reason why was the following.
You the one of the people I don't strike you. Because what you do, you add to it. All of you ask yourself, why Troll Detective only one video? Why Garlic Bread I don't strike him? I don't take down copyright. He used some of my content, but he do something to it and don't tweak the entire video. A couple minutes. So
the issue is, with the number of the creators he had struck, they themselves, by the very definition of what he said, had actually done what he said, yet he had still struck them. Don't forget here, on a live stream when he did all of this, he just sat there, scrolled, and struck 147 plus times. Now, moving on from all of that copyright drama, most of which has completely simmered down because everyone had gotten their stuff back, and Nader had well and truly failed, Nader yet again violated TOS, something which I mentioned in the exhibition of Stupid People number 194. Accompanying it are some clips. They are censored, don't worry, but I'm going to play a clip from that video instead of explaining it to you, because the clips that you need to see are in that video, and I believe I do an ample enough job at condensing down what Nader did, and question how on earth he still has a platform. Second week in a row, I am really sorry, but I have no choice because he did something so monumentally stupid and arrogant. In doing so, flouted the YouTube terms of service. In doing so, also demonstrated to all of us why he is such an angry man most of the time. Compensating much, Nader? Now, I'm going to insert a trigger warning. I'm going to play a clip, but I'm going to remove the part where something is visible. You're going to get the before and after. What you don't know, or unless you've already seen the clip on Twitter, links below so you can watch it in full, is he's going to remove an item of clothing.
Oh, that's so funny. Right, Chicky Bum? Sally has her eyes open. Nader! Nader! Oh my god, Nader. What are you gonna do with you? Nader?
what?
What's wrong with you?
Smoking my cigarette.
Can you watch your sunglasses?
So courtesy of shenanigans, Nader Elshamy taking his shorts off, flashing his wang before getting a... wait, what? Oh no. Oh, there's a link to the live stream as well. For God's sake. So barbecue chicken, anyone has the clip of him getting that? Oh dear lord. Really? Anyone else would have gotten removed. But then again, the person he used to date, who is still trying to get hold of him, as you can see from the title, Chantal contacted me again, is a renowned flasher as well. Maybe he is taking inspiration from her. I cannot be sure or certain at this point. So what did Chantal think about it?
Oh, yeah. So at 3:10, he goes like this to her to like keep playing with his cock. I'm not kidding. That's so gross. She's just laying there going... Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what he used to like make me do that when I was super tired and not want to like do it anymore. Good for you guys. I don't envy that actually. Having always pleasure him always. That's what they're doing. It looks really sad. She's literally laying there going like this. Okay, I didn't see the wiener.
Perhaps additional context is required, but censored because I don't want to get done by YouTube. Don't worry, I'll censor it. Now, rather amusingly, with the copyright stuff dying down, Nader did have a few final words on the matter, and that was that if you got your videos back, he'd just do it all again. A take two electric boogaloo.
I will use my right again. So if you have one video using my content in your channel before I take it down, I'm going for the rest. Well done, yeah. YouTube saying that I have a right if you use my content with no edit to it, like what Tanya told you, instead of YouTube. Because you know already before you ask. What to give me right to do one, will give me right to do 100 of my content you use. Because I see a lot of videos was hiding, coward. Guess what? All what you put them back, I'm start to do them again.
My apologies for that random bit that I should have inserted earlier. We're now going to continue the discussion about Nader's wang, because it turned out in a later stream, he decided to explain himself and what he was doing to rectify this error.
Don't kiss and tell, Nader.
But what's your question? All this, I don't talk about what happened last night. What happened last night? That part of my underwear show. Ooh. And they don't like it. But I don't have it anymore because I respect my people.
Moving on from all of that, and after much wait and patience, Mr. Repsion, aka Daniel Solzbach, released the Nader Elshamy files video. It is 55 minutes long and he covers everything. He does a fantastic job going into greater depth than I did as to some of the depravity and some of the violence and the absolutely heinous behaviors of Nader Elshamy. For the sake of it, I'm going to link it down below. There were some criticisms when it came to CBD gummies when doing videos about smackheads. It's not really a valid criticism. Please calm your tits. Just on that. It takes away from the main point of the video by hyper-focusing on something that is not as important. Don't forget here that because Repsion does this as a full-time job like I do, we have to be able to make money on videos like this, which might seem a bit wrong, but again, this is our job. So him having a paid sponsor isn't a bad thing at all. I think it would have been funnier if the gummies had Nader's face on, or if the sponsor was Manscaped, and he showed the clip just as Nader pulls his pants off. And much like my video, Nader vanished again, for quite a few days in fact. I wonder why. Was he perhaps riding out the inevitable wave of criticism? Or was it something simpler, copyright or community related? Courtesy of Barbecue Chicken, it was believed that he may have had some court dates around this time. When he did return to YouTube, to much fanfare of course, he did in fact block Repsion from his YouTube channel. I'm slightly disheartened by this because, you know, I was first and I'm still not blocked. Can you block me please? Write a passage and all that, Scout's badge and the usual Pokemon Gym Trainer Challenge nonsense.
Repsion!
He's in the chat.
Yeah, kick him out. We don't need anybody. Actually, sorry, not body. Yeah, but this doesn't work here. Keep believing in your dream. And the video is gonna be removed by the way. See? Just first day, just come in. So here. No. We don't talk about the garbage here. I need that Munchie like to keep his private out of the internet. Welcome, another one. The only one was true was me.
Something I find quite impressive is that considering the vast amounts of controversy and clear evidence that he has violated TOS on YouTube, not only does he still have a platform, but he's still monetized. No idea how, but Nader Elshamy has access to this, so he can still make money from his platform, the one given to him even though he really shouldn't have it anymore. It is a once-in-a-lifetime privilege, and I believe, like many, he has lost the right to it. But in retrospect, it's not too bad, because his views are genuinely dwindling. They're going down so fast that it's unlikely he'll, well, have any viewers left by the time we're here next year? Does anyone actually think we'll be doing another one of these in a year's time? On the 12th of October 2022, yes, we're skipping ahead a little now, I saw a tweet via Barbecue Chicken, is anyone streaming this meeting? I've been waiting for access for 15 minutes. And I saw Scaro Doodles, Nader and Didi just walked into the courtroom. Underneath, the way he walked looked like a tweaker. Here's a picture of him in the courtroom in question, by the way. Now, I took the liberty of asking Mo, first for permission to use the DM in the video, hi, and second for context about the tweet. One of Nader's SA victims, May Anderson, has a trial hearing today. You can request to virtually watch it as an audience member. Many of us did that the first hearing, but he was a no-show. I think now because the police are aware of how many people follow this case, they are not letting many of us in the virtual hearing that is happening now. But a few of us were able to get in and are now telling us that he is in fact in court today, so he showed up. With the conclusion to that being that the warrant was removed and his next court date is December the 7th. The subject concerning May Anderson involves the word R.A.P.E, and I'm going to link a video by May Anderson talking about it down below. I'm not going to play it though. One cannot play it because it is quite harrowing and serious. We don't really talk much about DD in this video, and so I'm going to insert the only piece of information I have heard thrown about. It has been speculated by many that now in the middle of October, when I'm recording this, DD does not have a job.
Now, after a 9-day disappearance, the vibes here were free and easy. Nader and Dee claim to still be in vacation mode, and on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, they both claim to have woken up, had breakfast, then fallen back asleep for about 4 hours in the middle of the afternoon. So the speculations about Dee Dee's employment, I think we can also probably just mark those as confirmed. If you have ever walked around on a blustery fall day and had a pile of dry leaves blow into your mouth, you can pretty much guess what this meal tastes like.
I am not going to apologize for including that last little bit. After watching her video, Mary's from start to finish, I found that to be an accurate summation of the quality of cooking we get from Nader Boyashiti. On the 11th of November 2022, Nader Elshamy came back to YouTube. I assume that was what the case was. Red Dre. I wasn't going to say anything, but since everyone else is acknowledging that the Gatineau Dracula is back, he said Chantal has been talking to Salah for a year now. He's been new about him, and Nader was acting like a disgruntled, bitter baby mama. To which Mary had pointed out underneath, he is lying, but seeing him being a jealous little bitch is quite nice. For a while, I've always taken a bit of a middle-of-the-road position with someone like Dee Dee. I always felt sorry for her poor decisions. But then she, on the 13th of November, said something like this.
Yeah. He does kung fu. Nader says he has the punching bag there now.
And I feel no sympathy anymore. Especially when not long after we found out that Dee Dee had explained why she lost her job.
Somebody talk about you, this person will lose his job because of you.
And she's gonna say, no, it's not because of me, because she was doxxed a long time ago. Yeah, but your big fat mouth wouldn't shut up talking about
Because
my
of
work.
you.
So your frickin' beezers were going to my work.
Do try to imagine, if you will, the surprise presented on one's face that you'd worked for a company for nearly 28 years, and all it took was one horrendous decision in your personal life to cost you that job, a job you had held for 28 years, because an association from your poor decision led to people from that poor decision to go to your employer to tell them about your poor decision and about all the shady crap they're involved in, thereby putting the company's reputation at risk because of guilt by association, the very thing used against you to terminate your time there, allegedly. I'm so glad to see that Nader has had a positive impact on your life.